Yeah. Yeah.
And that's another term that has heavy resonance for us and for anyone who loves freedom, justice, and equality. Gil Scott Heron said freedom ain't nothing but a word. Now, how did he mean that? He meant the way it was being presented, because we didn't see it in our lives. That we were treated worse than the pack animals, the work animals. So W.D. Muhammad, he's the one that had the courage to come out and say those things. He had the courage to say things that other people didn't have, even though they had categorized him as not being authentic, because the way he came to it and the way we came to it, the way he came to it was through the Nation of Islam. And they say, and my friend is here, Imam Salahuddin Muhammad, and he invited me to speak up at the college where he's a chaplain there, Bard College, last winter. And you know, so after my talk, some of the brothers were saying, some of our immigrant brothers were saying, yes, but you know, Elijah, you know, he and I know where he was coming from. He what? You don't know him. Whatever he was, whatever he did, you didn't do. We were here in the wilderness of North America, and our own African brothers didn't come check on us. We were here for 400 years on our own, except for the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you know, they asked Nelson Mandela one time, you know, you and Fidel Castro, you know, you and Gaddafi. Gaddafi helped him too. I mean, he's a communist. The other one's a terrorist. How can you accept help from people like that? He said, when a man is drowning and somebody throw him a life preserver, you don't ask them their politics. You didn't throw me one.
Long way.
I don't see where the Muslim world reached out and even spoke out. What you're doing to these people is inhuman, inhumane. The Holy Quran doesn't count this. I don't know that. Show it to me. I'm a student of history. I'm not aware of it. Allah. There is no God but He, the living, the self-subsisting, the eternal. Now why is that important? Because they want you to take other gods. They want you to take money or political power, or sex, or whatever the case, whatever these pulls that. Now look at what Ramadan does for us. Discipline. I was called by my family, because of a family member that we know has had for years and years problems with alcoholism. But they keep it swept under the rug. They don't want to talk about it. And he's functional. He's functional. He goes to work. He has a big job in television. And he got money. He's not married, never been married. He owns a co-op. He got a, old Mercedes. He don't really spend no money. He don't buy no clothes. And they told me, this guy got a couple $100,000 in cash in the bank. Right? But he can't manage his life, so it's not money. Money is not enough. I got another call from a friend of mine, what we would say in our colloquial jargon, a white boy. But a Caucasian, European American. When we use terms like that, it continues to foster racism. But a European American who has a large check cashing business. And he told me, he said, I had $4 million in the bank in my business. And the government came in and put a lien on it. Just overnight. Said that some checks that came through there, Homeland Security came. Oh, some Muslims came in here? No, these were some Russians. You know, and they weren't Muslims. They do have Russian Muslims too. Islam is a universal religion. And they put a lien on his account. He said, now I'm fighting to get it back. So he woke up that morning thinking that he had the world by the tail. If you had $4 million, we couldn't even talk with you. That ain't no money. First place, that ain't no money. But no amount of money is money. Allah enlarges and restricts according to His measure. That's what we have to understand. So that means what? When I get a hold, Allah says, we test you both by prosperity and adversity. So when I got a lot of money, I shouldn't be walking around with my chest out like I'm God. Anything can happen. You can drop dead with all that money, with $4 billion in the bank. Then what? Then what? So you should have that same spirit when your money is tight as when it's restricted. Also understand that that's also the plan and the will of Allah. Because He can open it up for you. You know, sometimes money comes to you from unexpected places. Yes. I've gotten checks in the mail sometimes. Oh yeah, this is from your insurance plan or whatever your investment you have. Well, I forgot I ain't had that. $4,000? I had $40 in my pocket. $4,000 feel like $4 million when you got $40. That's right. So we shouldn't exalt. Allah tells us, don't, you know, surely the brand of the ass. Huh? The brag, it means bragging. And that's what our rappers do, you know. I'm looking at them, these guys are coming in with all this money. And how much money you got on you? The harshness, Allah says the harshness of sound is the brain of the ass. And I think, how much money you got? About $200,000. He walking around with $200,000 cash. For what? He feels good by making you feel like you ain't got no money. Because people with real money, that ain't no money to them. And they see you just a target for the stick-up man. And the stick-up man ain't in their neighborhood, he's in their neighborhood. He don't stick you, Bill Gates ain't gonna get stuck up. Foolish people are foolish, foolish people. And that's who we look up to. Assalamu alaikum. La ilaha illallah Rasulullah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan Mubarak. Yes. So Imam W.D. Muhammad, he said, those of us recall his definition of freedom, freedom of the mind or the intellect to express its full and complete potential for human development. And Imam Muhammad taught us that a piece of freedom is not enough. Now, I use an analogy, or the Imam taught us that the freedom to eat and sleep and have sex, that's merely on an animal level of existence, right? That's what we think freedom is. That we're not tied to the land anymore. We're not tied to a plantation. We don't have physical bondage on us. We can go anywhere. Even in America now, the African American can go anywhere he wants to go. He can do almost anything he wants to do. He can become the president.